Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hermitcraft, where all of the hermits are extra hungry. Today, we are going to be doing a lot of work on our new game here, which we are going to call Hungry Hermits. It's fitting for multiple reasons, which we'll get into later, but I intend to make a lot of progress on this today. Probably get the entire restaurant built and get quite a bit of the redstone done, at least as much as I think I can handle today. Now, the unfortunate thing is, I think we're going to be tearing all this down and starting over. I mean, it's not like we have a huge amount of progress here. This was just kind of here to explain the game. But I think now that I've seen how a little bit of the redstone is going to shake down and the positioning and the space I think I need to flip this around and reverse the restaurant and stick it on its head and things like that, because it's just the way it's going to have to fit. So yeah, but the more and more I prepare and think about and design this game, the more I'm actually really excited about it. And we'll get into all of this in a bit. But first, we've got another project first that I need to do, because we need a lot of sculk sensors on this project, and I think I have like about 6. So we're gonna do something with that today. You guys know at my redstone shop, allay, that we have the permit for obviously all things redstone, but we also have the permit, and this, we've just forgotten about this, we also have the permit for sculk sensors, shriekers, and catalysts. And I have no way of getting those. Like I said, I think I have 1 catalyst, 2 catalysts, and maybe like 6 sensors, and I need like maybe about 50, maybe more. So that means I want to work on a little side project. I want to work on like a sculk sensor, catalyst, shrieker farm. Not really a catalyst. Sculk sensors and shriekers. You can't farm catalysts, I don't think. Moving out beyond my pork chop power farm here, we have this guy right here. What is this going to be, you might ask? Well, this is going to be a, what did I call it? An allay powered infested silverfish dropping basalt generating sculk sensor shrieker farm. Niner. Well, for starters, we've got basically a basalt generator farm here in the nether. As you guys know, basalt generates super fast in the nether because lava flows faster, so we can have a super fast farm here. And the sculk, the shroud, whatever it's called, the sculk goo, right? You got a catalyst here where when a mob dies, it makes the goo. The goo did this, yeah. Well, that spreads on basalt because it's a naturally forming block, as you can see. So we just need a lot of mobs to die here, and it's going to be twofold. If we want to generate the sculk block, which we probably will, we just need to take a hoe and stand like right here, maybe in a minecart, and be like, blah, 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 blah. I made something like this last season, but it was with an enderman farm. This season, no. We're gonna do something a little bit different. Obviously, there's not too many endermen spawning here in the nether, so I'm lost. Where am I? Up here. We're gonna use the new meta, which is super powered allays. Allays have super high regeneration, so this is gonna be a lot like we did with the cobweb farm last episode. We're gonna get some allay in there, and like a lot more than we had in the cobweb farm, by the way. Maybe 20. I don't know. We'll see. And we're gonna squish their face, right? And when they start taking damage, they just regen through it. They don't care, but they are going to be taking damage, and this dispenser is going to splash them with an infested potion. So silverfish are just going to be, they're basically going to be spraying out everywhere. I may need to put some glass up or something to funnel it down or something, but they're going to be splatificating all over this platform. So the way it should work is they should fall down, splatificate here, and I can use this farm, like I said, in 2 different ways. One is to go and get the sculk, but the other way, and then probably the more common way I'm going to get this, is to just stand on top of here with a hoe. I think I need a hoe, and basically just keep breaking shriekers and sculk sensors as they spawn. I may make this a little bit wider. Maybe, I don't think so. I think this is plenty wide here. And the idea is we're going to have so many silverfish dropping down and splatting here, probably faster than an enderman farm. So the rates should be insane. So there's really not much to do. I think the next step is to get some allay in there and maybe control the fall. I may or may not, depending how lazy I am, put an auto brewing system on the back of the dispenser there, or I may just put a double chest and fill it up with a bunch of them. I don't know. But we're going to turn it on and we're going to splash them, or we'll see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, your moment of zen. It is done. It is done. It is done. And I absolutely love it. We've got everything all buttoned up here so that the skulky bits can't spread back and ruin my basalt generator. And we got stuff up there. So this up here is where we keep the allay. This is where I have my super fancy, amazing, 20% fully automated potion brewing system here. I basically just throw the ingredients in these things, and then when it's done, I pull the lever. It's good enough for now. And we got plenty of splash potions of infestation. Over here, we've got a clock that knows when to resplashficate those potions to keep the allay in there fully infested. And in there, we have 17 allay that when this biscuit is extended, their face is going to get smashficated over and over and over, and many, many, many silverfish are going to fall down below. Let's turn it on, shall we? Here they come. Splash, 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 splash. Oh, interesting. Oh, some are getting stuck up there. I didn't even realize that. But anyway, the farm works amazing. So all I do now, there's like I said, there's two ways. Let me turn this down. Hold on, it's kind of loud. So like I said, there's basically two ways to use this farm. This is the way I will probably use it most, is just running around like a fool, harvesting these things as fast as I possibly can. And there are always like just tons of them on the platform here. I think the ratio was like 1 every 10. You get a shrieker instead of a sensor. There's one right there. And I can basically just do this for a few minutes and just have all the skulk sensors, all these skulk sensors and shriekers that I could possibly need. And the best part is, like, if I make a mistake, look, watch how fast it just fills in incredibly, because the basalt generator is insano fast. Now, if I want just a whole lot of skulk, I'm pretty sure I could just do this. Obviously, it'd be better if I had like a hopper minecart or a water stream or something down below, but I mean, I could just get a ridiculous amount of skulk here super fast and then just go pick it up in like 3 minutes. It's insane. So there we go. After like, I think it was only like 5 minutes of AFK, 52 shriekers, a whole ton, hundreds of skulk sensors, and enough skulk, right? I only did a few seconds of skulk and I just got tons already. It's just crazy. Honestly, like the new infested and oozing potions and stuff, it's like the new meta. You could do so many crazy things with these new potion effects, and especially when you compound them with allay regeneration, it's pretty fairly insane.
Tango, 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 tango.
Hey. Hi. What's up? What's up, Sizzles?
How amazing. Okay, first of all, whenever I want to find you, I always come here. You're never here. You're always in the depths doing
here.
some tango-y stuff.
I'm here.
You are here. All right, listen, I need your help. I have... Watch this. Watch this. Take off all your clothes off.
Where's this going?
Yeah, you know.
I got a dime every time I heard that, right? All right, hang on.
Okay, now, give me a little kiss. So, see, that causes a very small amount of damage. So what I want to do, I was going to hurt myself. I'm going to get all the way down to half a heart. And I want you to
death by
hit
breeze.
Me. Yeah, I want to see what the death message is. I got to know what this is. So first, fun.
Oh, I hope it says like you got gassed or something like that. That'd be great. Yeah. What do you need?
I need to empty my schnoogans.
Schnoogans. I like how you're talking in schnoogans there. You're speaking like a tango. All right, there you go. Bam.
All right, so here we go. I got it. Go ahead and hack me up with a sword or something.
Hack you up with a sword or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a little too hard.
That was a little too much.
A little too much sauce on that.
yeah. And all right, hit me again.
Okay.
All right, no, stop.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I got tired now. We can do this. Hold
so funny. I think it's gonna say Skiz was. It's either gonna say he was breezed or something about felt the wind or something. I'm hoping it's something custom, but we'll see.
Something, yeah. Dude, please let it be something. Okay,
yeah.
That was. I think if you hit me again, can you just punch me? Come on, dealer, hit me. Hit me. Hit me.
Come on, dealer.
Hit me. Double down. All right, stop. All right, one more punch. No crit. Okay, I was gonna say no crit.
I held back from the crit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at half a heart, dude.
All righty.
I want you to take that wind charge. Do it.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh,
it's so stupid.
That's dumb.
Come on.
Super dumb. It should be like got breezed or something. Oh
man.
Mojang, missed opportunity.
You want to know what I'm most disappointed in is how disappointed I am. I'm a little embarrassed. I am really, really disappointed.
I know, right?
Now.
It's just like, because they got the system to do all these custom death messages, right? Yeah, really fun.
Jeez, man, come on. That's just
Breeze to death.
fruit.
I know. Easy mode. All right, there you go.
Well, I appreciate you sciencing with me.
Yep.
And now I'm disappointed. Whatever. I get back to work.
Goodbye. It is time to shift gears over to Hungry Hermits and make some massive progress on this game that's been taking quite a bit of my time. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, unfortunately, the first step here is to tear all this down because I'm actually going to rotate the entire build and it's going to be going lengthwise that way instead. There we go. We're back to a clean slate, and I dug the hole a little bit bigger again because the game keeps growing. By the way, I should mention, if you have no idea what's happening here, please go watch the last episode where I completely described the game we're making. We're basically making PlateUp / Overcooked in Minecraft. You really need to watch the previous episode to have an idea what's going on. So there's a lot of things I want to talk about, a lot of new design changes and stuff and everything. But I think the first thing first is let's get the restaurant, the farm, let's get the entire play field built out, at least like 90% of it. There might be some details left, but let's get it down there so we can start talking about the real playing field and how the game is actually going to play. And this will be our serving room, and I can already tell looking at this that there's too many lights up there. I'm probably gonna have to trim that. Everything you see here, all the decorations are kind of just first pass. Really, let's just focus on the shape of the room and the gameplay that's going to be happening here. But this is where the food will be served. This is where the customers are going to come in. This is where the customers are going to queue outside. We'll get into that in a little second here. But the idea is the customers are going to get popped up through this from a slime block launcher, pop up here and land on this. They're going to be in a little seating position, each to their own little table, ready to be served. Now, of course, you won't know what to serve them, so you will have to go stand on this pressure plate for a little bit, maybe like 4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, I don't know. But eventually the name tag of the armor stand there will show up and it'll say like steak, right? Or pumpkin pie, or just a water bottle, or they want a cookie, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. That's what you need to feed them. And then you go back into the kitchen, which we're going to build in a second, or back to the farm to get the ingredients, and then back to the kitchen. And then you come back through here and you put it in their hand. Oh, he wants cooked pork chop? Done. And once you got the food in the hand of the customer that they want, you simply go ahead and press the button, and well, that would normally be hooked up. I didn't hook it up yet, but that would launch this guy here, but he's going to fall through down the floor, and it's going to break the armor stand and do all the redstone-y stuff that we'll get into in a bit. Now, for those of you that have played PlateUp, you'll remember that customers, when they don't just come around to your place, your business, they kind of queue outside if the place is full, and that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping that all new customers will come in here and move down this line here. Obviously, they're not going to walk through the door or anything, but when they get to the end of this queue and they fall off there, that's when they'll go into the system in the back, and they'll be the next customer to pop up randomly to one of these tables here. Now, it's going to add a lot of complexity to do that, but I really think it'll be fun because it's also going to add a sense of stress, right? If you're in the kitchen over there and you see, oh, we have 4 customers up and I've got 5 customers queued outside, that's a problem. Check it out. I thought this would be fun. Just like PlateUp, we add a little shop name here, so whenever anyone plays the game, they can name their shop. I thought that'd be fun. And we've got a kitchen now. We have a kitchen, a very rough first pass at a kitchen. The one thing I want to say though is, it may sound, but is it? Oh, I think Impulse is streaming and Pearl's talking to him. The one thing though that I need to mention though that is very, very challenging with all this is I can't put things on the ground. Like I can't just like have a block like that, right? If I want to put a barrel there or something like that, because anytime I have something that's not a flush like surface, the players can just come in and they can just throw something on it, and then that's like that completely changes the game. Now they have extra storage for that, and in places that's okay. Like these, I'm planning for these stairs right there and right there to be an actual upgrade to the game between rounds that you can buy what I'm going to call the prep area, and those 4 things will pop out, and then these here will pop out. Well, these are already popped out. They'll pop out, and that gives you a lot more counter space for you to like throw extra things on, which I think will be like actually incredibly useful. But I have to be careful. I can't use it in like normal places. Obviously, like these are gonna be, I'm not gonna get rid of these because these are the tables that the customers sit at. But these obviously, like, they can throw things on top of those as well too. And it's just the way it is, unfortunately. But I have to keep it to a minimum. Okay, first things first. Let's take a little walk around here. We got our cabinets here. I want to go. No, I want to put this up there and one right there. There, those are our fancy cabinets now. It's amazing. There and there. I mean, it's not great, but it kind of does the job. We got our nice little I don't even know what you would call this lighting, like a bar light or something like that. And then we have a countertop here. Now, again, you can see all the hoppers I've got here. That's so that if they do get the idea to throw something on top of it, it'll just get sucked up and go into these hoppers down here. Oh, hi there, Stone. And the mine carts that go underneath will pick it up. By the way, yeah, if you guys don't remember, the mine carts, anything that falls on the floor, like if you just drop something on the ground, that's trash, right? And the rats will get it, which are the mine carts that are going to be going pretty much everywhere there's floor, there's going to be mine carts underneath it picking items up. And if they do pick it up, that basically symbolizes the rats picking up the trash, and eventually rats will fall through the ceiling, and those would be silverfish, which is why the ceiling is made out of snow, powdered snow combo. You can see all these little powdered snow spots here. Anywhere, it's like a checkerboard pattern. Anything in here, I could drop a rat through any one of these that I want, or I could drop more trash or all kinds of stuff. So anyways, quick tour of the kitchen. This right here is the primary furnace where they will be cooking their food. Most of the food that comes from the freezer. Yes, it's far away from the freezer. Yes, that's suboptimal. Yes, that's intentional. This right here, I think, is going to be an extra furnace as one of the upgrades that you can unlock. It'll probably start like closed off with pistons or something, and then if you purchase that unlock, then it'll open up and you can cook two things at once. I have a cauldron here that they can fill with a bucket of water, which we'll get into later. That's from the farm, but they can put a bucket of water here to save themselves a lot of trips from the farm and back. This right here is going to be like I don't know what you would call it, like a multi-purpose dispenser. Pretty much this is where you get all your miscellaneous things like buckets and water bottles and gold for your golden carrots. Just all the random stuff is here, and the idea is I'm gonna swap this out with an arrow. I didn't actually have an arrow on me, but you take this and you point it at the one you want. You hit the note block, and then the item will come out, and you can spam it a couple times if you want, but it takes like 4 or 5 seconds for the item to come out. So this is a little time sink, a little delay to get the items you need. What else? We got, this is the door to the farm. We'll get to building that in a little bit. And again, the farm is where you get most of your resources. So 3 major places. You got your serving area, you got your kitchen, and then you've got your farm in the back there, which we're going to be building soon. This right here is a trash can. There'll be one here in the kitchen, and there'll also be one in the farm. The idea is you could throw whatever you want in this thing, and there'll be a hopper below it that'll pick things up. So this is how you kind of like cleanly get rid of things that you don't want rather than throwing them on the floor. But once items are in there, obviously I don't have the redstone hooked up yet, but once things are hooked up in there, the redstone lamp will turn on, and you have to empty the trash. And to empty the trash, you have to press the button a number of times, like, based on like how much trash is in there. And eventually the trash will empty out and the light will turn out, which I think is pretty cool. So clean way of getting rid of items, but it'll cost you a little bit of time to keep it clean. Again, we got some cabinets, just decorative. We have the pop-out area for the prep. And then this right here is really cool. It looks like a fireplace, kind of, sort of, but it's really, what it really is going to be a quick way for players to transfer items from the farm into the kitchen. There's going to be like a water stream, and the items are going to hit this block back here and fall down on the cobweb. Now, this trapdoor here, let me see if I can, where is it? Right. So when you unlock this feature, you'll be able to come in here and pick the items out of the cobweb, but obviously they're going to be falling in the cobweb. So you've only got 20 seconds or so to pick the items out of here. So it's super fast. Like the person can be like, all right, here comes what would they say? Here comes 3 wheat for the bread, right? They'll throw it in the thing, and you can come over here, pick it up, throw it in the crafter, make it and serve it without them having to come all the way back. But if you don't pick it up right away, it's just going to fall on top of the the campfire there, and then the minecart's going to pick it up, and it's going to basically become trash. Over here, of course, we have the crafter. This is where most things are going to be made, and again, we're going to have like a time based system. So the more ingredients there are in the thing that you're trying to make, the longer it's going to take to craft. So if I put, again, we'll stick to bread. If I put my 3 wheat in there and I hit my button, it'll take 3 times whatever the unit cost is, which is probably going to be like 2 or 3 seconds. So this one might take 6 seconds or so for the bread to pop out. And of course, it's going to just spit it on the floor. So you got to pick it up quick before the rats get it. And of course, you guys remember this is the freezer. We will be improving this from the last one you saw, but that's where you go to get your raw meats, your raw fish, and things like that to bring over to the furnace to cook. And this right here will be the entrance to the game, and I think it'll also be the entrance into like the what I'm calling the day-night room or the phase room. I'm not sure what we're gonna call it yet, but basically this is where you go in between rounds to spend some money, you know, get some upgrades, that kind of thing. Now these hoppers look really ugly, like really ugly. So the idea I had is I think I'm going to do a little bit of armor stand magic here and do, let's see, put that in its hand. We're gonna swap it out to the head, and we're gonna do, let's see, we're gonna go invisible, and then we're gonna scale this up to, let's try right about there. And what I want to do is bring, nope, all right, we gotta turn off gravity, and then let's like lower this down. Here's what I want to do. I want to try and use this to kind of hide the hoppers down below there. Let's see if we can get this in position. Scale it up a little bit more. And then I think we could slide it into place here. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So if I do this now and get like 4 of these in here, we're going to have like a nice little island shelf that looks like normal blocks, kind of, sort of, but they still can't throw things on top of it. So let me do the other 3. Now you might be thinking to yourself that this kitchen and serving area looks very open and just almost too easy. And I would agree. I would call this like super ultra easy mode right here. If you remember last episode, we talked about the idea of having different like build maps or templates, if you will, something like that. And I think I'm going to show you right here with anything that's in this gray concrete is going to be a kind of a temporary wall, and a wall that the player knows is part of the specific map that they are playing on. So the idea is that you can play this game over and over, and the shape of the kitchen and possibly the farm will change significantly, offering different difficulty levels, and you'll have different high scores for different levels, and it'll completely change the gameplay, I think. And this, I think, is the first layout, or the first map. I think this will be the default one. I'm not sure. We're gonna broken up into many different rooms now. We have the main kitchen area, I guess you could call it, the crafting kitchen area, if you will, I guess. We have the serving room, of course, over here, and then the cooking room, and this leads to the farm. Double access to the serving room over here, and then we have the freezer room over here. I may or may not put a door on there, I'm not sure. And then we have these little windows here so you can kind of see what's going on. Now the downside is, of course, these windows do serve as shelves, so I may swap those out with solid blocks if it becomes too easy. I'm not sure. This is going to be based on the gameplay thing, so I don't know, but I like the way the glass panes look a lot better there. So again, anything that is gray concrete is the player's indicator. This is temporary, and if you change the map, that's the part that gets torn down. I know it doesn't look great, but I think it's more important to know what is permanent and what is not permanent, and it's also why it doesn't go up to the ceiling there as well. So it's kind of just like, you know, 3 block tall walls there. But honestly, the cool thing is there's like a lot of different ways I could lay these walls out, you know, in here, and it completely changes the game and the difficulty level. So I'm hoping that has a lot of replayability. Like we could kind of like make smaller rooms over here and just go with like a ridiculous map with doors everywhere, and like put like 8 little tiny rooms in here just to be difficult, and that might be fun for some people. I don't know. I've been busy. I've got some more stuff to show you here. The kitchen is where you're going to be doing all the processing of things, like, you know, creating your foods and everything. You pick up a few supplies here at this miscellaneous thing, but in here is basically where you're forming your final product and then bringing it out there to deliver. Back here is the farm, and this is where you're going to get most of your raw products here. So we put together this silly little farm area here complete with a little silly barn and everything, but basically this is where you come to get all your stuff. You have infinite amount of seeds here, your wheat seeds, regular seeds, and beetroot seeds. You just like hit this thing a bunch of times. I probably don't even need the barrels there, I think. I don't know, but that's where you'll get your seeds, and obviously you don't have a lot of planting area. This is it. So most things you're going to have to bone meal. By the way, you get carrots and potatoes here. These slots are all going to be filled up except one, and when the game starts, you'll get 1 carrot and 1 potato. It's up to you to turn turn them into more carrots and more potatoes, again, by bone mealing them. So that's where this guy comes in. This is going to be kind of a composter that anyone who has extra stuff on them that they don't want or don't need currently, they're encouraged to compost them. This is going to be like a super composter, I think. So basically, every time it generates like 1 bone meal, probably like another 5 or 6 bone meal are going to be put into this storage container. Again, all the slots will be locked except for the first one where it will store the bone meal. So you can plant some crops here if you want and leave, but they're pretty much not going to grow up in time. Everything is going to have to pretty much be bone meal. So the supply of bone meal is going to be very important. I'll probably put some like activity here to generate more bone meal. I'm not quite certain. The bone meal thing is still, you know, up in the air. We still got some design stuff to do there. Now, it should be noted that either side of the barn is blocked off. That side is completely blocked off, and then this side here is also blocked off, but we have a trash can here that works just like I say, it's just like the one inside the kitchen there. So if you do have some extra stuff here, you can throw away some bits right there. Inside the barn now, we have, it's nothing very special here. There will be a cow here eventually where you can take a bucket and get some milk from the cow to for your cake. And there will also be an eggificator here. You press the button and an egg will pop up from the floor there. Probably something very simple here. But more importantly, the barn is basically just a pass-through to the second side of the farm here. This side of the farm gives you access to melons and pumpkins. I'm not quite certain yet if this will be enough. This little farm here will be enough to give them a natural supply, or if there'll have to be some like override to always have a pumpkin or a melon available. We'll probably have to do something like that. We'll see. We got a little dripstone cave over here to get a supply of water. And then over here we have a beehive where you can press a button and you will be able to get a block of honey. So the players are going to need to come back to the farm quite a bit to pick up all the supplies that they're possibly going to need. And now the cool thing is that I don't know if you noticed, but there's only one way to switch to the other side of the farm. That's blocked over there, and this is blocked here. So you have to go through the farm. And I put the doors on this way here because I think it'll be fun to have a template or a particular map design that does this. So there actually is no way to get to the other side, and that's where this comes in. I added a little minecart ride here. You hit this guy, and we'll enclose all this and everything or whatever, put it in a cave or something, I don't know, and that pops you back to the kitchen over here. So I think there's really interesting gameplay where we can like completely separate the players. Like if this was a wall right here, then the guy on this side would be in charge of cooking all the foods and getting all the things from that side of the farm, while the person on this side would be responsible for like crafting things and getting things from the other side of the farm. Kind of interesting. So that's basically it for the layout of the game here. Obviously some tweaks will be made. I might make some minor adjustments here and there. And of course we have a lot of redstone to do here, but I'm curious what your feedback is on, you know, how it feels for these 3 phases to have a farm, a kitchen, and a serving area, and then have gameplay be heavily determined based on where the walls or how that map is currently set up and everything. I think we got something here. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to show you guys. One of the things I had, one of the questions I had last episode was I wasn't sure how to show the remaining patience of a customer. Now the patience, you know, a new customer will pop up, and then you have a certain amount of time to deliver the food to them. If you don't deliver the food to them in that amount of time, you lose the game. And so the player needs to be able to see what that is. You know, they're basically their patience before they give up and leave the restaurant. So I was trying to think of a good way to do it, and I come up with a way that is absolutely amazing. I'm super happy with it. It's going to use the armor stand animation system. This is a system I used on the doors and decked out, how to do some of that fancy stuff last season here. But check this out. What we're going to do is when a customer comes in, they're going to be all bright and cheery. See how Tango's head is all leaned back? He's all positive and happy. When after he comes in, time will start passing, and the name of the game is Hungry Hermits. The idea is you have to feed the hermits before they pass out. So basically he's gonna get weak, and his head is gonna slowly bob forward here. And I've got this is a mock-up here of how it works. Each one of these books has a pose saved in it that is basically a head tilt. So you know that one right there corresponds to this, and then going down, each one has a head tilt even more. So I've got some temporary redstone back here. Click this and you'll see what it's like. He's happy. Not, he's just kind of waiting around, not too sure. Oh, his head's starting to bob. Starting to get a little drowsy. Oh no, he's fading. He's fading quick. What are we gonna do? And he's out. Oh, I may put more stages in here than that to give a little bit more gradation between that, but I think this is fantastic. It's a great way of showing how much time is remaining. So you're basically gonna have to be out here and like be looking at everybody like, we're about to lose the guy, and you gotta feed him his food real quick. It's gonna be great. And finally, I was very, very busy today, and we got a ton of the redstone in. What we have here is 7 identical modules. These are the customer processing modules here. Each one of them is basically a one wide strip, and it's responsible for handling all the logic for each customer that is currently waiting to be fed. These modules pretty much do it all. They're responsible for handling the incoming armor stand, sliding it over, booping it up on the little pop out slime block launcher up into the restaurant. When the customer presses the button to say that they've been fed, it will release the armor stand and fall all the way down the bottom, down, let me see, down here, and get shot by an arrow from a dispenser to break the armor stand and all the items on it into a water stream, and it'll be sent down there into the item filtration system. It is also responsible for handling all of the timing with the customer's patience that we just talked about, as well as the animation states for their head bob. And it is responsible for understanding when the player is requesting the order from a customer using the calibrated sculk sensors, the waterlogged calibrated sculk sensors down here. They're just in the right range to detect that signal. Basically, there's a whole lot going on here in one individual row, but there's still so much more to do. Obviously, I have to do the queuing system. I have to decide what foods are going to be chosen for each customer. I have to dress the customer and do all kinds of stuff still. So there's probably going to be a ton of redstone back here. Like I said, there's going to be a pretty cool item filtration and matching system that I already have designed. I just have to build. That's going to be over here. Lots to do. And then of course there's all the individual components in here inside. It's just going to make everything happen. The timed crafter, the automatic fuel system there, this gadget here, all the stuff in the farms. At this point, we just have a tremendous amount of redstone to do. But the good news is I feel like I've got a pretty good hand on all of it at this point because I've done a lot of planning, as I always do. So hopefully we'll be making a lot of progress here very quickly. Well, guys, that is going to do it for today. In case you can't tell, I'm incredibly excited about this game, and I'm incredibly excited to get it done and let the Hermits start playing it. It's going to be a lot of fun, I hope. But as always, if you have any questions or comments about the game or concerns about the game or ideas about the game, please drop me a comment. I will be reading them as always, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts to help me make this game as good as it can possibly be. That's all I got. I'll see you guys next time.